What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down a lead that we got just to show you guys the steps that I take in order to create an estimate or a quote for a potential customer, okay? So right now we're on this lead here. Her name is Sarah, and she's looking for a house cleaning, okay? There are 4 main steps that I take to come up with an estimate. The first one is to assess the scope of work. So right here, you can see that there are 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a living room, a kitchen, dining room, office, so pretty much the whole house. Inside the fridge and inside the oven wants to get done, baseboards, and then no pets, okay? And then let's see here, hosting a 8 family members next week, needs a full deep clean, including kitchen degreasing, bathroom scrubbing, dusting high shelves, and wiping windowsills, okay? Says that the place got away from her after a hectic month at work, okay? Prefers Friday mornings and needs cleaners who can work around a toddler's nap schedule. So the thing that stands out to me is the windowsills and the wiping the windowsills, dusting high shelves. We pretty much do all the other stuff, no problem, including wiping the windowsills and the high shelves. So nothing surprising there in the notes. The second thing I do is estimate the amount of work hours to complete this job. And again, this is just an estimate, but just looking at this from a 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, how many square footage is this house? Let me look here. All right, looks like the house is 1,800 square feet. So that's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,800 square feet, all the rooms, and including the fridge and oven. We're probably looking between 5 and 6 hours of work here. So for a first-time cleaning, we like to make between $90 and $100 an hour for a first-time cleaning. So we're looking at 5 hours on the low end, right? For 5 hours, 90 to 100, we're looking at between $450 to $500 for this cleaning. She wants inside of the fridge and oven, so we would add on $50 for each of those, and then for the baseboard as well, because that's an extra $50 to do the baseboards. So we're looking at an extra $150. So what I would charge for this one as an estimate, right? It could be more. It would be $650 is what I think the amount of time that it would take is between 5 and 600. So number 3 is the third step, is to calculate the profit and the cost, okay? And I'm paying my cleaners here $18 an hour. So if we're charging $650 for this cleaning, let's calculate how much our cost is going to be, so we can know what the profit is going to be. So if we pay each of our cleaners $18 an hour and we're gonna have 2 cleaners on this job, we're looking at 6 hours of work for both of these cleaners. So that's 18 times 6, that gives us $108 times 2, because there's 2 cleaners, that's $216. So our cost for labor on here would be $216. So that's $650 minus $216 of labor. That gives us a gross profit of $424, which is a pretty good profit margin for us. So what I would do with this cleaning here is actually send an estimate of $650 and see where we can go from there. Again, it is an estimate, so if I get there and the house is way more dirty than we thought it was going to be, then we would just increase the price. So that's what I would do for this potential customer here, Sarah. And by the way, guys, this is an online estimate, right? So this is requested, you can see here, online estimate. If this were an in-person quote, it would say it right here on the request type, and then we would go to their house. But I wouldn't go to their house either way without a ballpark price of how much I'm gonna charge for that house, because you never wanna go to a client's house to do an in-person quote and then you underprice your services because everything looks okay, everything looks clean, but then when you start moving things around, that's when you start seeing a lot of dust, right? So always have a nice ballpark price, a nice estimate, so that you can get there and then you can kind of finalize that price in front of them. So I think for a house like this size, 1,800 square feet, $650 would be a pretty good price for this. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.